Chris Kane.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. When we talk about youth services, we're really talking about the kind of country we want to be. We often discuss crime prevention, education and mental health in silos, but the thread that runs through them all is clear: the need to invest in our youth through properly funded long-term youth services. In Scotland, youth work has a proud tradition. In my constituency of Stirling and South Island, youth work takes many forms, from council programmes to community-led projects in our towns and villages. In every case, these services are working to address inequality, isolation and opportunity gaps. Let me highlight two examples. In Callander, the Callander Youth Project has taken a former hotel and turned it into a thriving hostel and social enterprise, offering employability programmes and training opportunities to young people. And in Bannockburn, the Eastern Villages Sports Hub delivers sports and community activity in partnership with Milton Football Club, Bannockburn Rugby Club and St Modans Cricket Club, showing how sport, youth work and community development can go hand in hand. These are fantastic examples of grassroots ambition, but behind the energy and creativity lies a deep sense of fragility. Too many projects rely on a patchwork of short-term funding. I do want to recognise the role of organisations like the National Lottery Community Fund and many others who've stepped in to keep many services running.
On that point.
But, yes.
I thank my honourable friend for allowing me to do an intervention, and I thank him for a passionate speech, and he's showing why Scotland produced some of the greatest footballers of all time, Billy Bremner. But what I wanted to address in his speech was his comments about the funding of the youth project. He talked about the short-term funding. Would he also agree with that part of the issue, and I've experienced this from my work with young carers, that also it's about the need for funding to be about funding new projects and not the long-term funding of existing projects?
Yes, I agree entirely with that, and let me say thank you for recognising Billy Bremner, a very good Stirling man. Too many projects rely well, they do rely on a patchwork of short-term funding, but the resilience points to a deeper problem: the retreat of local government, especially under the SNP government in Holyrood, who've delivered a real terms cut of over 15% to core budgets for local authorities. That makes it near impossible to deliver on statutory obligations, let alone expand services for the future. When youth services are cut, the impact is not abstract. We see it in worsening mental health, rising youth crime and lost opportunities. We know what works. Youth services build confidence, boost attainment, improve well-being and support employability. These are generational investments, not optional extras. That's why I welcome the UK Labour Government's commitment to embedding youth services alongside mental health and career support in communities. But Westminster action only goes so far when Holyrood is pulling in the opposite direction. If the SNP is serious about equity and opportunity, then it must properly fund councils and commit to long-term support for youth services. Because this is not just about budgets, it's about hope and acting on our belief in the potential of every young person.